Okay, everybody can see my screen? Okay, perfect. So again, we have some great news. Thank you everyone for logging into our July meeting. Dr. White and I set these up to be monthly. You know, even if we miss a few people, it's fine. We catch everyone up as we go along. We know everyone's super busy, so we want to be really conscious of our time. Just to give y'all a quick update, today we're going to be reviewing the round 2 results, and then we'll talk about the process for our final round 3 and what the reminder emails are going to look like, and then finally our timeline. So we're in the home stretch. Thank you everyone for all the hard work so far. It's looking really good. These are just a recap of our round 1 results. And so, you know, we had some really good results in round 1. You know, we had met 65% inclusion, and only 35% had not reached consensus in round 1. And so going into round 2, we were already in really good shape. And so in round 2, we now are at 79% inclusion, 4% exclusion, and only 17% have not reached consensus. So essentially, we only have 9 data elements for round 3 that we're hoping will reach consensus, or if they don't, you know, they just will not be included. And so, you know, the final round should be really, should go pretty quickly. And so you'll see all those changes reflected when round 3 is released. Any questions so far on that?
So thanks, Zach. But I expect there to be more sort of differences of opinions during this round and the next one. Is there going to be an opportunity, say we still don't reach consensus on several of these? Is there going to be an opportunity for us to come together again and actually talk through this rather than sort of doing it asynchronously?
For sure. So what we discussed is that these 9 will then go, you know, they're in the round 3. You'll still have an opportunity to post your comment so that other members of the team can see it. If they do not reach consensus, we will then report back in our August meeting, you know, what the stats were like on them. So were they 50-50? Were they, you know, what they look like, just to give our group a better idea, and then we can talk through those, you know, final ones that remain. So this is our new list, and I will, you know, you don't write anything down. I'm going to send all of this to everybody right after the meeting. So these are all of our data elements that have met inclusion for round 1 and round 2. If you look specifically at the end, you know, the medications, you know, what was administered, date and time, the airway complications, failed airway management, and institution level hospital capability. Those are the ones that really reach consensus in this second round. So again, you'll get this list and you can look at it, but this is what our inclusion elements look like so far. Okay. And then we did, if you remember in round 1, we didn't have any that met inclusion, but in round 2, the group decided that height and hypotension are going to be excluded, so those will not be included as data elements. And then finally, if we look at, you know, these are the 9 data elements that have not met consensus. So I'll give you a little bit of time to look at that. And just if anybody has any questions that you want to bring up to the team right now, feel free to speak up.
So I think maybe a couple of the ones, maybe a little too vague, like the laboratory result. Are those like open free text, or are those drop downs?
Those are drop downs.
Okay.
Yeah, those are drop downs. And then also keep in mind that that was one that was brought up before, that it is also going to be in the acute hospital group. And so, you know, if our pre-hospital team decides, we don't really think this data element needs to be in ours, you know, it might fit better in another one. Just keep that in mind as well. Any other questions on these? So these are the 9 elements that you will see when you open up round 3. Okay, moving along. So again, round 3 is the final round. The instructions that we discussed last month for our round 2, they're very, very similar. It's going to be the same process, just that obviously, you know, there's not going to be round 4. And so anything that doesn't meet consensus, then we will bring back to our August meeting. Again, if you, just same concept with saving and how, how it works and how to be able to see group stats. Remember, if you don't answer it at all, even, if you select no opinion, then you can at least see the distribution of ratings. But if you don't answer at all, then you're not able to see, what the ratings look like. So any data elements that reach consensus in round 1 and 2, either through exclusion or inclusion, are not going to be hidden. So you will only see those 9, which it's going to be a lot less overwhelming. And then if your colleagues provided comments, it's the same as round 2. So you're going to be able to see all that moving into round 3. And then, these are really the final steps. And so really consider looking at all the feedback from, anyone that's posted comments on the element to decide if you want to revise your ratings to move it closer to consensus, or you want to remain the same. You're going back into your completed survey, and so the green bar at the bottom is just showing the progress you already made. So don't worry about that. And then again, this is a third and final round. So any element that doesn't reach consensus will not be adopted as a basic CDE. Of course, this is going to be after we bring it back to our team here for full discussion in August. And so, if it doesn't reach consensus in round 3, we'll bring those data elements up, and then anything that comes to this team and we're like, we can't reach consensus, then we will drop them off and they won't be adopted. That makes sense to everybody?
I think that the only other thing to add here, Lizette, would be I would encourage everyone to leave a comment on each one of these, either why you're making the decision that you're making. And it can be something really brief, like I agree, or no problems with this, but tell us why you're making your decision. And then we can collect that information beforehand, before we come back to the August meeting, and have some help narrow down the conversation a little bit for those ones that we're not agreeing on.
Yeah, great point. I'll add that into this, and then I'll add it into our email that goes out to everybody, just so that we're all on the same page. Good point. So looking at what our timeline is going to be, so round 3 will launch this Friday, July the 12th. And again, we'll give everybody the 3-week timeline if we need it to complete this. Again, it's only 9 elements, so some of you might be able to just go in and knock it out real quick, and then Pam will be able to provide us an update as soon as everyone completes it. Remember that the reminder emails will go out to everybody. I know our team has been super good at just letting me know, like, hey, I completed it, or I still need a little bit more time. And so, please continue to do the same thing. And then I will send that final reminder email, the day before, just to do that final nudge, like, are you gonna be able to do it or not? But hopefully we can get back to the 100% completion from our team, which everyone has been phenomenal at getting things done. So I appreciate that. And then we're done. And so in August, we should be able to come back and look at anything that remains. And then we'll be moving to the next thing, which is working on our white paper. All right, so are there any questions, comments, concerns? Perfect. I think our team is rolling really nicely. I'm super excited. I've been bragging to the others about our team. So so everybody's so responsive, and if 1 or 2 people haven't completed it, you guys are responding, communicating with me really well, just to get things knocked out. And so we'll continue on that track. I'll email everybody on Friday with the release of round 3, and then we are already set for our August meeting, so we'll catch up with everyone then. Thank you everyone. Have a great day. You get a lot of time back.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Great job.